I'm gonna say it again.
Repeat yourself.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I want to share another thing while I explain it in graphics, so it's easier to. Can I?
A beautiful weather.
Sorry.
What a beautiful weather outside.
Yeah, it's like
A hill.
It's great.
Hailstorm.
Can you see? Where is it?
I see black.
Do you see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great. So when you think about workaround, if you place it like so if we need to position ourselves, right? It's positioning is really important, really important. One of the first thing we need to think about. So you can look at it in different ways, but there is like let's call it. Okay, I will do a couple of versions to understand what it is, but here you have something that's very transactional. Okay, so it's a space. Basically, it's all about space, right? And here we have something very different, which is people. Right? It's not transactional, it's relationship. Okay, we are here. Now, the excuse is to work. So here it's all about work, let's call it. Here it's about relationship. Okay, it's space and working. This is people and relationship. That's what makes us a real community, because you're really sharing something. And that's where I will say, if you want to compare us to Airbnb, it's to Airbnb couch surfing or BlaBlaCar, right? You're sharing an experience, maybe, right? And also the values are really different. Here it's about money, pricing, what I'm going to get from the space. Here it's about who I'm going to meet. Here it's meeting. Here it's about features. Which you're as a couch surfer, you can really relate. So you might more, if you couch surf, yeah, sometimes you want to have something more fancy or whatever, but the real deal, it's about the people you're going to meet. So that's why trust is super important. And if you look at Uber, for example, Uber is here. So for them, trust is more important than our case, because basically anyone can be your next driver. But in couch surfing, it's not for anyone. I think that's so that's why they have safety on the front page, because it's a real concern. But in a community, the role of the, let's call it community manager, is to verify the people, is to screen the people. Like you want to join a Facebook group, they give you the rules of the community, but they also ask you a few questions before you can come in. So there is like a gatekeeper. And that's the first way to ensure we have the right people and we know what we can do and cannot do here. But in Uber, it's more concern. It's a bigger concern, because anyone can be a driver. Like not really, but that could be, and it's also, I think, it's more intimate to be in a car with somebody. It's also very intimate to be in to be a guest in somebody's house. So how do we tackle trust? Could be different ways. Now, what I'm saying here, if you need to put, if you do it again, this is workaround. So we are about, let's call it, here it's space, yeah, and here it's let's call it, I don't know if relationship, but something like this, like let's call it people, okay? So we are driven by very unique space, right? And very interesting people. This is where we are. While co-working space, it's basically if you have money and it looks like any other office. Some maybe here you can also say community, right? Here. So here you have people in community. Here you have the uniqueness of the space or the experience. So WeWork is here. It's very generic. Every place that you will go, you have the same feeling. It's not about meeting people. And then you have like a Treehouse, right? Could be more here. Or Impact Hub, right? But Impact Hub is one place that you go every day. It's less about conversations. It's more like community, but in our case, it's only about the people and only about unique experiences and unique space, right? Does it make sense?
Yes.
So now that's the problem also, because we are creating a new market. It's not like we took, if you need to look at the accommodation, let's call it, right? So Airbnb is here, Wonder is here. They're in the same place because you can still have luxuries house, right? It's not like you cannot get it in Airbnb, but they are saying, yeah, the copy, the marketing, it's for rich people want to work together in some place cool, and everything is very customized and rich, right? Like everything, like you have a Tesla, like it's a lot of features. It's about features and unique experience, but unique in terms like of more vertical. It's only for rich. It's only amazing places, right? But they are in the same quadrant. How do you say, right? It's just a niche of Airbnb. We are not a niche of anything. So that's also our problem, because some people will have a hard time to understand, why should I couch surf? I can go to a hotel. Like, I don't understand, right? It's a totally different experience. Yeah, you're sleeping somewhere, but it's not about that. So you can say, why should I go to somebody else to work? Like, I don't understand. I can work in my home. I could go to co-working space. I don't need this all of intimacy, trust to feel awkward. Yeah, but it's not the same thing. You cannot compare the two. So, and we are the first one right now. We're doing it. And this is also our struggle, because people will tend to compare us either to Treehouse, I think it's called. Treehouse or WeWork. And it's hard for them, like, why? So
yeah,
who are the people going to understand you? I think it's people that are already doing something similar. So they are couch surfers, they are community, they are sharing stuff already, right? So if you need to tell the story, again, I have a new version saying, Yeah, we're building I'm just making it up, right? It's not crisp yet. Like instead of I'm a co-founder, we are a community of remote workers in a mission to make remote awesome, or something like that. So it's not about I am, and that's what I have. We are, and that's what we are doing. So you already position yourself as a community and not as a product.
Yeah.
And now it's a community. It's an exclusive community of professionals who work remotely, and we want to make connections. We want to expand our network and have fun. That's what we are doing. How? We are sharing our spaces with each other, and we are learning from each other. So now it's about, this is what we are as a community, because we believe if we start having a local connection with people in a digital world, it will enrich our lives.
Yeah, that's a good story. Yes.
Yeah.
Start off by saying that we are a community of remote workers who wants to make our remote life awesome.
Yeah, that's it. So if you go to On Deck, I think the problem is we still thinking about ourselves as a product, but we not a product. We are a community. So this is like On Deck. This is where Greg is also part of. So you see, it's totally different. It's not a product. Like who we are, what do we do, who is here, what you will get, a lot of testimonials, right? Programs. It's very exclusive. And when I see the future of Worground, it will be more like that. You know, what you can learn, projects that we have, startups that we invest. And the reason I'm saying this, because if you treat yourself as a community, people will position you as a community, as not as a competitor to where do I work today? No, it's not about working.
Yes,
it's about
right.
enriching your remote life, because remote life can be boring, same day, every day look the same. I'm disconnected. So can we connect? Can we meet new people? Can we enjoy the freedom that we have? So basically what you are selling is a philosophy. And if people say, what? Because, you know, when we talked about Worground, I had already the idea in my mind. What is this? And I thought about the real problem of remote people. And I came from, how can I connect them? So then you start seeing possibilities. But if you sell a product, people looking for a problem, and they don't have a problem, really. So, but if you're a remote worker and say, let's be part of a community, let's have a belonging, let's enrich our lives, let's have more fun. Now you're filtering a lot of people, and the right one will say, wow, you know, there is a lot of possibilities here we can do. I can contribute, I can start a project, I can be part of it, I can vote, you're part of something. Now safety just gone through the window, because it's not transactional. Yeah, safety is important, but it's not a point. It's secondary, even not secondary, it's a third point. Because the minute you start to pitch, people start to defend their point of view. What's wrong, what you're saying? Because we are a startup, not saying, I'm working at Google. Oh, okay, I know Google. This is new. So then people, it's about trust, or no, I don't know, I need women. Say, no. This is a community for people that are pros, working remotely, and they want to make more fun, enrich their lives, meeting people in real life, expand their network, and live, and also be part of the local community around them. That's what we are doing, because we are remote people. We feel the pain of working remotely and be lonely and isolated. So we are creating this community. Part of it meaning you're going to stay in somebody's home, but we're going to have events. You're going to learn from somebody. You can invest, you can vote, you can do a lot of stuff.
Wonderful.
that was my revelation yesterday. And when you start thinking like this, because I saw the struggle also in your conversations, and also while talking with Boris, and also trying to understand where Rosa can fit. But in a community, you do what you really want to do. So you just find your niche, you find your contribution. It's not about there is a job to be done and somebody needs to do that. Right? So yeah, in the beginning, we are a little bit like product. There is onboarding and packaging, but if you start, like even the copy, it's a welcoming package. It's not onboarding. We are welcoming you to the community.
Yes.
We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna. So we are still struggling because we have a brain split, who we are, and that's why I think the change book is so important to define who we are. We are a community.
Yes.
And as a community, we share stuff, and we can also make money from sharing stuff. But we do other things.
Yeah.
We learn from each other. We invest. We co-found things or crowdsource or crowdfunding. Right? That's what we are saying. Do you want to join the community? It's something that you feel the urge, that like the passion to be part of. So you're not pitching. I'm looking for the next members, like the next bold members who want to make remote people and connect people and make fun. And,
the presentation that Align has gave to me, gave to the people there, made me realize it's so much easier if you get people to come to you rather than you go to them.
Yeah, true.
And how you're gonna get them to come to you is you tell the story, you organize something that people can come.
I agree.
They're interested.
I agree.
So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to organize a discussion in the playroom, and I'm gonna put it on meetups and Facebook, and I'm gonna see who's gonna join.
So yeah, I think that's where if we start thinking as a community, the first step is to have conversations. So
if you look at come to me, have the conversation.
So yeah, if you look at the Techstars, which is the biggest accelerator in the world, the way they started, they said, and it's a really great story and also a great book, not from the point of view what to do, like the approach. And the approach was back then in Colorado when they started, there was no accelerators in the world, 2004, and they said, how can we help? How can we make this city the best city in the world for innovation? Like there were 6 people or 4. There were past entrepreneurs and investors, and they said, okay, let's start helping people, meet them. So one of them had Friday, every Friday at 9, you can come and meet each other and have a coffee for half an hour.
Yeah.
And then they have more structure. You can pitch for 5 minutes, and I can mentor you, I can help you, I can connect you with people.
Yeah.
It was only about like, let's have conversation and meet and talk and tell stories and help each other. This is how you start a community. You don't start a community by saying something. So I agree with you. It's like to think strategically. If we are a community, how do you start a conversation? How do you build trust? So it's not very scalable, but it takes time. But then it's very rich. It's very real. The trust issue is just gone, and it's very, because it's all about kindness and generosity and give. They call it give first. This is the mindset, like give first. Don't ask, like give first. What do you want to? So we are in a rush to start, but sometimes we forget about those values, and then we try to execute just to have a landing page. But it's very dangerous, because then you're confused, and also in general, I'm not saying you as a person, but you, like you're confused, and also people will be confused, because if it's a community, how can we convey this in our conversation and also in the landing page? and we're doing, I think, good job, but it's not like amazing, and we need to move there, like not in terms of execution, like the design is great. In terms of, can we tell great stories? Can we, like you said, invite people to conversation?
I think if I organize a couple of home work ground experience where we discuss openly, inviting people, that will be a great story to tell. So I can tell.
That's another great idea. Like, don't try to understand it. Come work with me.
Yeah, you just come
work with Sharon, like for free. Just go for 2 hours. Enjoy it.
Obviously, we will make it like more scalable. So in terms, it has to be like an event, so that more people can come, not just one person. So you have a discussion.
Ming? Yeah, I didn't hear the last 20 seconds. What
I said that we should invite people to come over to work, but then we do it in a more scalable way. We make it like an event, so then there will be more people coming, rather than just one person.
So we need to go back to the drawing board once the landing page is ready and saying, okay, what can we do that gives this kind of sense of community in terms of the seeding strategy, the landing page? Because while you were talking, I was thinking, instead of joining the waiting list, try Workaround today, right? And fill this kind of whatever form or chat. And for free, we have either events, or you can come to Sharon Place for 2 hours for free. Just try it. You don't need to, right? Just meet the people.
That's right. I think.
And if you have, sorry.
I think it's very good that we have like a call to action that leads them to join an event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just so powerful. And I'm ready. I'm ready to host events in the playroom and bring people in and have a discussion. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
So what I think what I'm suggesting is I'm going to work on the, like, two things that I see that are challenging. One is the change book, which is who we are, how do we operate for ourselves? Because we need to go back always to what I read yesterday was really changed my mind. I told you about the story of the mayor in California, and everything that he does is asking, how can we bring kindness to this conversation, to this project? How can we solve those problems with kindness? And it's a very simple question, just one question that can change everything. And I really think community is about kindness. So if we can ask everything that we do, how can we bring the community values to this conversation? So it should be either kindness or connecting people, something like that. That's it. How can we connect people in a meaningful way? How can we bring kindness to this meeting, to this conversation, to this landing page? And so that's the first thing. And the other thing, because it's a community, it means we need to be very, very cheap in what we are doing. We need to think long-term, like it's going to take maybe a little longer than we thought, because it's all about the community and quality, and it takes time.
Yeah.
So it requires us to really pay attention to the budget and make decisions, not to become cheap in terms of how much we spend money, but it needs to be community driven. So for example, if you want to build a trust page, can we crowdsource it to bring people to the conversation, right? So how can we use the community? If you join, you have a role. You can choose to have a role, and maybe you get paid or you have benefits. So we are distributing the workload.
Yes.
Also for the community. It's not going to be a lot of people. Yes. Yeah.
It's my visual.
So, and that's why I think the budget is important, because I realize if building a community, if you build Wonder, it's easy. You just download an app, you book a place, that's it. Like, forget about everything around, like I have a Tesla or whatever. This is like the value proposition, but the action is simple. You don't need to do anything. You just need a credit card and a phone. In our case, it's about people. So it's not downloading an app and just book a space with Ming. You need to do more than that. There is, like, in communities, there is let's call it a member onboarding flow. It takes time to people to contribute, to join, to believe. It's a process because it's about connection and people. So what I'm saying, if you take this kind of approach, yeah, we need to host events. We need to give people a trial day, right? Come to my house, like book a session with Sharon. Come to my place, 1 hour. I will make you a coffee. There is a cookies, and you're gonna have fun. And you can work here, and then you can decide it's for you. And even if you pitch it, you go back to whatever you will go next week. Try it out. Come to my place or Sharon. We have like a couple of people. If you want to become a member, right? Try it. See how it is. How can remote suddenly can become awesome? Challenge yourself. So it's like an invite to taste it, an invite to join the community. In the first step, okay, show me how it is. Okay, fine. Like we have an event or a trial. It's also a great way to know the founding team, and if you need help with something, ask Sharon. Sharon is an expert. We have whatever. I'm an expert, and Boris is an expert. Then okay, wow, it's interesting people.
Yes, I think that's a great breakthrough to offer trials and organizing events. It's something that I want to do because we're bringing people to us, and then we going to them. It's a different approach now.
Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. And the other part is it's a long term. That's why the budget is important. So we can see how we can do it for, 18 months without a lot of income to grow slowly. It could be a breakthrough. I don't know, but to be realistic, it will take more time. Could. And then the other thing is we are building an audience. So if you think about community, community looks like this. Roughly, this is us. Okay. Core members. Okay. This is participants. Yeah. And this is like lurkers. Right? So our approach, like trial, events, content, a podcast, is to build, is to have an audience that over time viewers will become participants and core members. So if I look at our go-to-market, it's hosting events, right? Trial, like you did with Treehouse, you can try, right?
Yeah.
Content. So then we become very cheap. It's a long-term strategy that looks something like this, right? It will take time to grow because it's about community and creating something new experiences. So and maybe I will say welcoming program or a community program. Yeah. So the community program is like we have a monthly event, we have projects, we have campaigns, we have different stuff that it doesn't mean you need to, if you look at the experience, it's like hosting, guests or guesting, I don't know how to call it, right? It could be voting, events, I don't know, content, So it's a rich experience. Part of it is here, but we can have other stuff. Because if you will stay here, it's too narrow. It's not, it should be rich. Of course, we need more people, right? But what I'm thinking, if you look at this approach and you redesign the landing page, there's going to be one section for community and what are we working on, and start working on Notion as an open book. What we are doing, you can vote, you can join the discussion, you can make a decision, we can help us, you can work here 1 day a week, right? It's fine. So it's more scalable, it's cheaper, people have option to contribute, to become part of, and not just buyer and seller. Because your pitch, my pitch right now, it's about a product. We change it to community. Do you want to join as a member or just try it out and see how it looks like? So if you go to the website, there is blog, there is a show, there is a community forum, there is a roadmap and features, right? You can contribute, you can do other stuff. So, real example, Rosa, she has an idea about trust. Great. We have a place, start writing about it and ask for feedback from the community. And if the community believe in what you're saying, we will adopt this. If not, you just created, you gave first. Don't over-engineer it. Like write down like the concept, what you're trying to do, why it's important. It's a democratic way to make decisions. And she's good in events, so maybe she will take part. No, she will manage the events, registration, content, whatever needed. I don't know, taking pictures, upload it to Instagram, like all this thing.
Great.
Yeah, the landing page has to give the message that we are.
Yeah, we need to.
We are
this. Yeah, we need to redesign it. Not the. I'm not saying like redesign how it looks, like the story.
Yeah.
So I need to think about it.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is the following. Let's finalize step 0, phase 0 anyway. It's just to make it ready. The next step is for me, is to write the first draft of our community manifesto, which is who we are, what is our values, or the change book. I want to call it like the manifesto.
And put all this graphics that you've just described.
Yeah, and that really write a document. Great. Now, once we have this, let's rewrite the story and think about how can we do this? What we said, like, okay, if we're going to host events, who's going to be in charge? Trial. Okay, how trial works. Content. Okay, who's in charge? Welcoming package. Who is in charge? Because that's going to be most of our work. We like the product, to be honest, is not important right now. Because imagine it's like you and I multiply by 10. So we have like 20 people. Okay. So now it's not about the product. It can be very, very simple because everybody will know each other in a certain way, or at least know this is a very curated community. So it can be slowly developed. That's what I mean. if we have the core, which is, I still need to think about it. I'm not sure, right? I'm just thinking out loud. Doesn't mean this is the truth right now. But if we have the core, then it's more important than a product, and we can hack stuff for now, you know, or like, I don't know what Boris was offering to build like a demo app or something, a simple version, because that's what's going to drive this part's going to drive the community.
I agree.
It's very untraditional. Not a lot of businesses work like this.
Because we are not going to make money for a while.
Yeah, it's going, but if we stay very cheap and lean, and it's powered by the community, and we don't rely on big campaigns and fancy stuff, I think it's possible. And you can scale it. You can scale it because it's like couch surfing. Yeah, it's a worldwide phenomenon, right? And then you can say, you know, in the near future, hosting and guest is one part. If you want to become a deeper member, you need to be, I don't know, you need to do something. So this is like a different part of the business, this thing, right? Like you can enjoy only host. Sorry?
We are Couchsurfing 2.0. We are making Couchsurfing better.
But again, like, you know, I'm still thinking out loud because it was part of I was thinking about it tomorrow and writing and reading. The first few members is what's important. The first 20, 40, I don't know. And so that's why the pitch and the way we meet them and make relationship is so critical.
Yeah.
And that's why trial and content and hosting events or going somewhere and talking with people, making relationship is the thing.
Yes.
And there is no pitch. It's just, this is a community that we are creating and building nowadays. That's where we're heading. This is our vision. That's why we exist. Now, you know, if it's interesting for you, have an event and you can try it. No, fine. Like, I don't like this whole question of trust, and it's like, we are not there yet. It's very curated. Everyone is handpicked, you know. So I think that's it. That's so going back to. Let me go to the toilet for a second, and then I want to hear your thoughts. בשיחה. Yeah.
Just stop the recording.
Are you asking?
Yeah.
No. I want to hear your thoughts.
About?
Our conversation. I was talking. Did most of the talking. So what do you think?
No, I when I'm silent, it means that I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, I have no objections. So let's just move forward and and do what you think is right. I will support you.
Yeah. So tactically, now we don't want to change anything, only the pitch, like the story, which is very natural. You're gonna go work on and I'm gonna help you whatever you need to finalize phase 0. And I will write the first draft of the manifesto. And then let's do rethinking. Like, okay, events, content, like what does it mean for the design? It will also help us to understand our social media content and everything, right?
Let's have a work session on next Wednesday, since like it would be nice to have a work session and then we can go out in the evening.
Okay.
I'll be back on Tuesday evening, so Wednesday would be a great time. The question is whose house? Just between you or Rosa? Do you want to host?
Yeah. I think, yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Let me
then
just
I'll-
check if there is nothing happening in Wednesday. Remove this.
Yeah, we have to meet up again. And hopefully the hat and the hoodie would have arrived and I can give it to you guys and we can take a nice drone shot, team shot
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
So Wednesday, I have only one meeting with growth mentor. Somebody asked my help between 12 to 1, but then we can take a break or something. So I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, you can stop the recording.